Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Cold Case Christmas. In this episode, we look at the unsolved murder of British woman Kuldeep Sidhu. 25 years old, she was murdered, her house set on fire, and the scene staged to look like a suicide. Who would do such a thing remains a mystery. Let's tell her story. Firefighters were called to a house on Glim Farm Road in Quinton, near Birmingham, on Wednesday, May 14th, 2008. As the flames soared, firefighters fought their way inside. The burnt body of 25-year-old Kuldeep was found. She was found half naked with a rope round her neck. There was a suicide note found on a table nearby. It was claimed in the note that she'd killed herself because her husband was having an affair. But was it all as it seemed? Did she take her own life? Or was this murder? Kuldeep had everything to live for. She had a husband that loved her. She was a part-time nursery nurse who loved children, and she was described as the heart and soul of her family. She was also in the early stages of pregnancy, so it wasn't just Kuldeep that lost her life, it was also the life of her unborn child. She was excited about the news of her pregnancy and the promising life that she was going to have with her new baby, but it was all ended so tragically. Half naked with a ligature around her neck, police believed that this wasn't suicide, this was a stage scene. If she committed suicide, how did the house set on fire? An autopsy revealed that Kuldeep was dead before that fire was set. Her cause of death was strangulation, and the manner of death was homicide, not suicide. After a 3-day inquest, coroner Mr. Cotter said that this was an unlawful killing. Summing up the inquest, he told the court, "In my view, the evidence shows clearly this was not murder by a stranger. An attempt was made to destroy the evidence by burning her body and make it look like Kuldeep had taken her own life by hanging. She had not." The coroner congratulated all the professionals involved in the investigation for uncovering the truth about the death. He said, "I am confident that with the evidence that sooner or later the murder will be solved and the murderer or murderers will be brought to justice. May not be in the immediate future, but sooner or later it will happen." Detective Sergeant Andrew Houston of West Midlands Police told reporters, "There has been a wide-ranging, painstaking inquiry into the death of Kuldeep Sidhu. It is clear from our investigation and from the comments made during the course of this inquest by Mr. Cotter that the answer to whoever has committed this murder lies closely around the scene and around those known to Kuldeep. I would like to take this opportunity to make a further witness appeal and would ask that people cast their minds back to where they were within the Quinton area or wider Birmingham area on May 13th and 14th, 2008. In particular, we'd like to hear from persons who could help us piece together the last movements of Kuldeep in life." Her husband Baljinder said that he'd lost his whole life and also appealed for witnesses to come forward. He said, "My wife was my whole life and the most loving and kindest person I have ever known. She meant everything to me and never had a bad thing to say about anybody, and had always offered love and care to everyone she knew. I love my wife with all my heart, and she loved me with all hers. But she was taken from me as someone came into our home and murdered her. All I ask is for some justice for myself, for our family, because my beautiful wife Cully won't be coming back to us, and she deserves some justice. So please, if anybody has the smallest amount of information, it could be crucial." She's believed to have walked her Samoyed dog Lassie, who was thankfully rescued by firefighters during the blaze. And then at some point during that day, someone had come in to the home, had murdered Kuldeep and set the fire. A 27-year-old man was arrested for her murder, and a 48-year-old woman was also arrested at the same time on suspicion of making threats to kill, but no charges were brought, and police continue to hunt for the killer or killers to this day in hope of bringing some peace to Kuldeep's family. Her brother said of her that she was like a breath of fresh air. Her dad said, "There's a big void. We don't know why anyone would do this to her. She was a lovely girl and would never do anything to harm anyone. All we can do as a family is to look after each other." Her sister said she was my other half. We were inseparable and used to go everywhere together. It's strange not having my sister here anymore. Cast your mind back if you were in the Quinton area of Birmingham on May 13th or 14th, 2008. Cast your mind back. Did you see anything, however insignificant it could be? Cully travelled home from work on the Tuesday evening, May 13th, catching the number 11 bus to Herborn and then the 103 to Quinton. This was between 6 and 7 p.m. Did you see her? Did you see anyone following her? Her normal morning routine was to walk Lassie, her Samoyed dog. She was out there between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. the day that she died. Did you see her walking her dog? Did you see Lassie? Very distinctive dog. Big, hairy, white dog. Very distinctive. Cast your mind back. Are you a dog walker? Did you see her? Did you see anyone running from the house between 3:30 and 4 p.m? Cast your mind back. There has to be something. There has to be a piece of information that could crack this case. It's a cold case now, but just one tip could be the thing that the police need to reinvigorate this investigation. If anybody has any information, contact West Midlands Police on 101, or you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. Cully deserves justice. Her family deserves answers. It's been far too long. Let me know your comments on this case below, and I'll see you very soon in the next episode of Cold Case Christmas. Bye, guys.